Hey guys, this is Nina. I wanted to reach out to you because today I did a post on gatheringpearls.com, my website and blog. Um, uh, and really, the post was about thinking it through. I made that post specifically because I am a mother. I was a teenage mother, and lately in the media and really in our communities, you see a lot of young moms. And I remember what that was like, and I'm pretty sure some of you can attest to even what that is like. As women, a lot of times we don't think things through, and that's really what the post was about. And I wanted to make a video in regards to the post because as I wrote it, it was very simplistic, but very hard and very true. And a little bit about the blog post was that oftentimes we get so excited with the preliminary parts of, our relationships or a pregnancy or an engagement or whatever it is, living with someone. Oftentimes we don't think things through on later on the consequences, the results, what will happen as a result of. And being a teenage mom, I can attest to, a lot of times you have people who are either against it and judging you, or you have people in support of it and celebrating you. Neither is right. You shouldn't be judged because it is what it is. Really, what you should be is now helped to make better choices, to establish a good foundation for yourself and your children. And you shouldn't be celebrated either because we shouldn't condone when that happens. Mainly because, not that you don't want to condone or celebrate the baby, because life should be celebrated. But you don't want to condone it in the sense of sending out the wrong message, sending out a false message of this is cool, this is what it is, it's okay, it's all good, I'm going to be gravy, I'm going to finish school. Because oftentimes the things that we attach to it aren't real. We think, oh, well, I'm going to finish school, or I got a good support system, or, me and him, we strong, we tight, we're going to be all right. And in reality, none of those things are promised. None of those things are promised. Your relationship with that gentleman isn't promised, or that woman. Your support system isn't promised, because your family might feel like, well, you laid down and had your baby, now you take care of your child. None of those things are promised, so while we're making it seem like, oh, I'm going to be all right, the reality is you now have a child that for the next 18 years plus you're responsible for. Oftentimes we celebrate the baby shower. We think of, oh, let me see your, I've been in offices with girls that are very young, and it saddens me because it's almost like a trend or a fad now. I remember it was so taboo when I was younger, and I remember how people treated me at the church, how other mothers wanted their daughters to stay away from me because they felt I was a bad influence. They didn't know my personal story or journey, but they just assumed, and don't get me wrong, I did have a hard and a fast life, but that wasn't the reality of who I truly was. And so, those different things, they hurt. And so when I'm in the office or I'm somewhere and I see girls saying, oh, let me rub your belly, or what you gonna name him? Oh my gosh, oh my goodness. You're excited thinking about that life, but you're not thinking it through of what the results will be later. How hard it will be for you. What if you lose a job? What if you don't have a job? What about that child's father? How will you support that child? How will you support yourself? Because by law, you can't just dump the child on someone else, thinking, okay, they'll help or whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. There's instances, like even with my testimony and situation, there's been times where you have to reach out to family. You cannot do it alone. But there's no surety or no certainty that that will necessarily be something that is beneficial for you or that you can count on. And then even getting engaged to someone who you really haven't built, yourself, first, or knowing his character, or is he husband material or my wife material? Because it's not just all about the guys. We're so busy having our Garden of Eden moments where we're pointing a finger, Eve blaming Adam, Adam blaming the devil, Adam blaming Eve, Eve blaming the devil. That's not really, we should take accountability and just kind of look at where we are and where we need to be. And so really the post really touches on, thinking things through as women, thinking about what you want in your life and where you are. And if you're already expecting, if you've already had a child, not to beat yourself up, but don't stay there. Don't stay stuck on stupid, because you got to think about that child. And there's a lot of things that will come back to you later and you realize, I've done more damage than good in my child's life. Because if your child becomes a bastard as a result of your choice, what good is the baby shower? What good are the pics and the sonogram moments? What good is all that if at the end of the night when your child says, "Where's my dad?" Or "I want a hug from my father," or "My classmate came to daddy-daughter dance and I didn't have my dad. Where's my dad?" Then what will you do? Your heart will be broken. So while there's so many shows out here celebrating, I won't even say the shows celebrate it, but I will say that to an extent people see it and say, "I'm going to be different." We have a tendency to think higher of ourselves than what we really are. And we have, and not saying that we're not efficient or not good, but life happens. It happens to everyone. It happens to people with the best of intents. There's some women who've been married and now they're a single mom because they're widowed, or their spouse, left them, or their spouse, passed, which, as a result. So some people who are single parents aren't always single parents just because they were careless. So if someone who's been careful in life can still be a single parent and still deal with stresses and pains, don't you think you owe it to yourself and to your child to think things through as well? So I really encourage you to think things through. What kind of life will I have? What kind of life will my child have? Because that's one of the most painful experiences as a mom, is to look in your child's eyes or face and know that because of a good night, or because of a relationship that you thought was really going somewhere, or because of your own unresolved issues or your own neediness, you have this relationship and you got pregnant, and now there's a child that you feel guilty and you feel some sort of way, and it's your child, it's a part of you. So who wants to abort their own child? Not unless they're really in those places mentally where they have no other choice, or they want to because maybe they wasn't raised responsibly, or maybe it happened as a date rape or something that made them feel they have to get rid of their child. But if you're keeping your child, you need to think things through, and don't think, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to move in with my child's father, because you don't know how responsible he is, or how responsible the woman will be. You think, well, me and her having a baby and stuff like that. It's really heavy on me. It really is, because I see so many young girls in Toys R Us or Babies R Us, and they're like all excited and buying items for their child. But are you thinking about those next 18 years? Are you thinking about those field trips, or genes? If the child is injured and needs a blood transfusion, what gene traits? Is there sickle cell? What different things that are in the bloodline? Are you thinking think it through? Because a lot of these shows will make you think that, I can make it, I'll be different, I'm not going to go through that. And really, you're setting yourself up for failure if you believe the hype. So I would pray and ask that you just reconsider your life, the value and importance of your life, the value and importance of another life, and how you can detour that thinking from just thinking, well, I didn't know he was going to be this way. You do, because we all have our red flags. We all have our baggage. It's just a matter of, are you willing to unpack it and leave it in the closet, completely unpacked and done with? Or are you going to just keep carrying it and saying, I didn't know, and, woe was me, and, and everything like that. And then two, if he has other kids and he's not paying child support to their moms, or if he doesn't spend time with his kids or see the kids, what makes you think that he's going to do it with your child? So ladies, please think it through. Thank you. You can find the blog post at gatheringpearls.com. I hope that you'll subscribe. I hope that you'll share this on your page, because there's so many young women that really need to hear the truth of this. They need to really think it through and process, because I don't want y'all to end up on the short side of the stick, because you'd be surprised how many women consider their options, and how many women are put under the pressure of foster care, or abandoning their child, or depression, or taking meds because they can't sleep, or they're stressed, or they're losing weight, or thinning their hair. Think things through. Learn now before it's too late. And if it's already happened, recover it all, please. God bless. Share, subscribe, like, do whatever you need to do, but stay good. God bless. Deuces.